trusted the cops to take care of the situation. That's what they said. They're going to keep it peaceful. They didn't do their job.
That was a shop owner in Ferguson. His store was looted. He saw it happening on television. So he then called the police, but got the runaround.
He's trying to tell me that they got cops in front of the store and they got it under control. I told him, no, sir. I'm watching the news right now. You guys are all the way down the street while they're running out the store with the boxes.
The cops would not come. And the mayor of Ferguson later said the police had been ordered not to keep them safe.
Is it true that the reason a lot of the police were standing down over some of these weekend protests because they were told by the man in command not to interfere, to let the looters do what looters are going to do?
Yeah, that's what I'm told. What was given was a command not to put the officers in danger.
So many shop owners and other people are now arming themselves. Steve King owns a gun store in St. Louis, just a few miles away from Ferguson. Steve, gun sales are sharply up?
Yes, they are.
400%, you told us?
Yeah, one day last week it was 400%. Overall, this week, compared to this week last year, we're up a little over 75%.
Now, you view this as a good thing, but what if there's all this protest? What if people are buying weapons to shoot police officers?
Well, there's a big misconception here on how people are buying firearms. The majority of the firearm purchasers are law-abiding citizens that go through a very strenuous background check, and you know, we're talking about $500 to $800 firearms here. So majority of the people don't go through a background check, a criminal background check, and buy an expensive gun to go out and commit a crime. So I don't think this is I would tell you 100% of the people that have bought guns in the last 10 days have bought them for defensive purposes.
And Missouri's laws are sort of average for America. No state restrictions on buying a gun at a gun store as long as you pass the background check and you're 18 years old. If you want to get a concealed carry permit, you have to have 8 hours of gun training. But that frightens a lot of people. Look at some of these quotes from a conservative commentator here, David Frum. Does anybody think things would be better in Ferguson if the demonstrators were armed?
Well, John, I think that we're looking at it a little bit differently here. I don't think that we're talking about demonstrating or having the demonstrators armed while they're demonstrating. I think we're talking about people that are defending themselves against the rioters and the looters. These are homeowners and residents of Ferguson who, quite frankly, feel like they're being trapped in their house with no protection at all.
And the Department of Justice does say that guns are used in self-defense between 100,000 and 2 million times. It's a big range because I guess they don't know. It's not always reported. Having the gun doesn't necessarily mean using it. It may just be showing it.
Well, we never advocate that you pull a gun out just to brandish it. We advocate that you use a firearm as a last resort, and you're only using that firearm to defend yourself or your loved one against serious bodily harm or death. So people aren't just going out flashing firearms around trying to stop crime or to stop, you know, anything from happening out there. That's not what this is all about.
But you talked to one store owner who found looters in his store and had a gun and simply said, "I don't want to shoot you, get out," and they did.
Absolutely, because again, taking a human life is the last resort, and you only do so if you feel that your life is in jeopardy or the life of a loved one.
Thank you, Steve King. As the debate about guns continues, here's some statistics. More than 100 million Americans now own guns. That's more than ever. 11 million now have permits to carry concealed weapons. That's up from less than half that 7 years ago. So, since 2007, we have a big increase in the number of people who arm themselves. During that same period, murder and violent crime dropped by 22%. Something to think about.